throughout all these little tiny streets, we eventually arrived to Piazza Navona. There are lots of little cafes around the side streets of Piazza Navona that are quite good. They are fairly pricey as well. Expect to pay about 7 to 8 euros for just a glass of beer. But remember, no tip is necessary. Welcome to the Piazza Navona, very, very famous square here in Rome. It was originally built by Domitian, a Roman emperor, in 86. It was built as a square for different games of skills. It wasn't violent, it was just games of skills and intelligence and competitions of physical as well as mental skills. Restaurants are quite a tourist trap. I just checked out the menu behind me and it says right at the bottom, many of the items that they serve are frozen. So that's for the tourists who don't know, but we do. Right behind me is the very famous Baroque statue by Bernini. Bernini symbolized here the 4 most important rivers of the world: the Nile, the Ganges, the Rio, and the Danube, just to get an idea of how he felt about the unification of the world as one big planet. Opposite of the Bernini is a Borromini church of Saint Agnes. It's also a Baroque church. Borromini and Bernini were rivals, and then Bernini actually played a joke on Borromini. This is more a legend. It's not exactly proven that it was so. You see the hand of that man there? He raises his hand as a form of dislike towards the church that the rival has built. This is only a legend because in reality the church was built later than the fountain. So the man couldn't have raised his arms in protest. Through a lot of narrow streets, again, we finally arrived to the Pantheon. It was built in 27 BC, originally as a temple, but then, of course, history as well as the religious dominations changed and we converted it to Christianity. In this place, you can also find, well, this square, it's called the Piazza della Rotonda, because of the Pantheon's roof's round shape. You also find the very, very oldest albergo, which is hotel in Rome. It was built in the 1500s, so therefore in a Renaissance period, and housed since then a lot of famous people. The Pantheon is famous for 2 tombs. Here is buried Raffaello, beautiful and wonderful painter, as well as, I forgot the name, Victor Emmanuel II, the Italian king. Let's go inside. You know, I'm obsessed with the coat of arms, so look at the coat of arms of these popes. They tell you who and when contributed something to the maintenance or of the addition to the Pantheon. Now, as you notice, the Pantheon has no windows. The only source of light comes from above. And that circular opening on the roof is actually not a covered roof with glass. It is open. So when it rains outside, it rains inside the Pantheon as well. Il Tempo is one of the biggest newspapers in Italy. You can see it's sold everywhere, and here is the press building. Let's go to the Fontana di Trevi, but in order to get there we have to go through the Galleria Alberto Sordi. Alberto Sordi was an actor, very famous actor who recently died. He made all those funny movies that take place on the beach. Yet still be in a cafe, come to the Galleria Alberto Sordi. Apart from shopping, which is everywhere in Italy, you also have air-conditioned cafe atmosphere. Be prepared to pay the price though. When you consume whatever you ordered at the bar, it costs a lot less. If you sit down, you have to pay almost double just because you sat down and used the premises, plus the service. Right at the Fontana di Trevi, a major tourist spot, a major tourist attraction. Why? Because of this fountain front. It was built at the beginning of the 18th century, in 1732, and it just adorns the end and the building of a water reservoir. It has no religious significance, which is a miracle in Rome.